Welcome back to the broadcast. Our next guest's life inspired a hit movie that is garnering all sorts of awards. The movie is called Philomena. Please welcome live from London, Philomena Lee and her daughter, Jane Liverton. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lisa. Good morning.
So if you can share with me kind of a synopsis of your story, and then we'll talk about this film that is just sure to make a big splash at the Oscars as well. But first, your story.
Your story.
Oh, my story.
Yeah.
Where do you want me to start, Lisa?
A synopsis.
A synopsis of the story. It was having a baby at an early age when I was a teenager in Ireland, and then going into a home to have him and staying there 3.5 years and rearing him, and then having signed him away for adoption because there was no other solution to it in those days. I couldn't find, my father disowned me and my family disowned me. So my family didn't disown, just my father did. And my sisters never knew about it, nobody else knew about it. And we were ostracised so much at having a baby out of wedlock that it was classed as a mortal sin in those days in Ireland. So it was horrendous.
And then, obviously, Mum kept the secret for 50 years and told me 10 years ago. And from her telling me, I met the journalist, we had the book written, and obviously here we are now with the movie having been made about it that's been Oscar nominated.
It has. A lot of buzz around the movie. Jane, yes. When you talked to your mother about this and you said, you know, I want to bring this story to light so everyone can hear it, what was her original reaction?
She didn't want it told. She didn't. It's kind of a lot of Irish people. They kind of don't want their dirty linen washed in public. That's the saying. She still felt very ashamed about the story when it first came out and didn't want anyone to know about it. But actually, as a result of her telling the story, not only has it been a very healing process for Mum, but it's like it's helping so many other people.
Yeah,
it's been an amazing thing.
Yes, a lot of people really relating with this film. Now, can we talk about the film for a moment and the way it was cast? Philomena, did you feel that Judi Dench was the right person to be cast in this film? Are you pleased with it?
Oh, was I pleased with it. So excited when I realised she'd taken on to do my part in the film. I couldn't have asked for anybody better. I've always loved Judi Dench and her films. I've watched everything she's ever done. And I was so excited, and she played my part so well. I couldn't have asked for anybody better.
You know, that's really nice to hear, because a lot of times these true stories are put on the big screen and they're not exactly, you know, true to the actual story. Now, when you both saw it for the first time in the theater, what was the feeling for both of you?
You answer that one.
It was quite hard the first time we saw it. Because I think the biggest thing was that they make, originally they make Judy's character to be a little bit simpler than Mum is in reality, with some of the jokes and things. So that was a bit like, oh dear, you know. But after watching it for 2 or 3 times, you kind of realise why they've done it. You need the humour in the movie. That's fantastic. They've told the story in such a good way. There is dramatic licence in the film, but overall, they've got all the general the bones of the story. They've got it absolutely right. They've got all the important bits in there. And Mum absolutely, after 2 or 3 goes, loved the film as well.
Philomena,
indeed, yeah.
What did you want for viewers to take away from this story? And then quickly, I need to ask you too about your relationship now with your son.
What did you want people to take away from the film?
What I want to take away, I just, in the beginning when it came out, I just, because of the film, and there's been so much reaction to it, and that it's going to be able to help a lot of other women, men, women, and children that have been, and especially my age group, because we were all so reluctant to keep this story of our having babies a secret, because we were so ostracised at the time. And even now, my age group, again, there's a lot of women that won't come out with it. But since the film was made, there are a lot of them are actually going to come out and try and rectify what has happened, to tell their story, and their families looking for them, and siblings would be able to find them, and like it happened to me. You know, I was so lucky. I was so lucky.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us this morning. I know that I will be watching, as will millions of people be watching on Oscar night to see how this film does. So good luck to you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Bye.
By the way, you can still catch Philomena in theaters right now before the Oscars in a couple weeks, so just check your local movie listings for showtimes and theaters. We have a special visit next coming up. Cheryl Underwood is here when we come back.